Welcome to the Virtual Velo Podcast powered by the Zwift. We are exercise and physical therapists, performance coaches, and live stream broadcasting pioneers. But most of all, we're passionate about cycling and immersed in the virtual cycling community. Our goal is to inform, inspire, and challenge you. So come take another conversational ride with us today. We are very excited. We've got a great lineup today. Starting off, we've got the regulars, Chris and Nathan, with us today. Chris, how are things going with you?
Things are going really well. I actually just got the word that Cycling News is picking up an article that I wrote yesterday, and it's always flattering. But I got to tell you guys a funny story. I raced yesterday, so I was trying to do the smart thing. I jumped in with Coco Caden, just kind of trying to be good, trying to take it easy, do a bit of recovery, and I find myself rolled off the front. And in my group is Leonard Tugels. And I'm like, okay, there's 5 or 6 of us. And then he and I are chatting, and he wrote an article for the Zwift, and where he was pretty open about the point structure in the last Zwift Grand Prix race. So we're going back and forth about it. And then now there's only 3 or 4 guys in this group because his recovery pace is my tempo pace. Then there's only he and I, and so I'm like, all right, I'm getting towed around by this pro. And then we roll up on another pro. So, and I'm trying to pronounce his name right. Etienne van Empel. He's the Dutch cyclist that races for a UCI Continental team, China Glory Continental.
China Glory?
He's on a T. Yeah, that's the name of it. I had to look it up. So the two of them are going back and forth in Belgian. And I'm just like, on the back of the caboose with these 2 pros pulling me along, and I'm looking back, and Coco is now 6 minutes behind us. But it was the coolest thing. So anyway, I dropped them both. Well, not really. Cow. They both.
That's a great introduction to how you're doing. I dropped a couple of pros yesterday, just so you know.
Well, what he didn't tell you is it took 4 hours to get 6 minutes on Coco. That's the
actually not getting pulled around by those guys, but no, they both had to go. In fact, Leonard had to jump on a plane to go to a training camp in Spain. But no, I didn't drop anybody. But the other thing I wanted to mention was that it was a huge honor to be a guest on the Rap podcast last week with Nathan and Anna.
Oh, nice.
They have an incredible dynamic, and it was really it was great fun, and it just kind of just felt like I was in my element, being able to talk about the thing that I love, and I really appreciate it, Nathan.
Yeah, of course, awesome. Like that was a ton of fun. It was actually one of our episodes that went to places we have not gone. We'll just say it that way. Like that, and you're talking bike racing, but I feel like your presence, what you're about in the world of cycling, as well as personally, really took the conversation into some realms that you don't always explore when you're talking about competitive sports. So pretty cool. How I'm doing, I'll just take lead on that. And
please. I was going to ask you how you're doing.
Thanks, Ken. So yeah, what's going on? I'm racing actually right now. Like as far as the bike goes, I'm trying to figure out how not to race too much, which is really funny because it's December 7th. So how is that working? And that's just the reality of the Zwift dynamic now, and the virtual cycling dynamic, that you find yourself with almost suddenly it's winter, but you have too much cycling to do, perhaps, especially when you're in the content creation space. So that's how I'm doing. Race ZRL last night. We had a good TTT. Very interesting one. Last night's team time trial. Learned some things, yelled at some teammates. Was much nicer than I usually am in my berating of them in their time trial tactics, but that's I've learned. I've grown in some character. I've grown in character.
Go in a straight line.
No, dude. Okay, Ken, you're coming to do. All right, that's no. Like I see the mountain bikes behind you. I get it. Okay, but you're coming for a team time trial with me, and we're gonna watch how you go. Oh, while you're in absolute agony and suffering, trying to figure out, oh my gosh, this is way, way more complicated than I could have ever imagined. So, I mean, last night I talked about, real quick, last night I talked about how the slipstream itself is its own entity, and making sure everyone knows how to make sure it stays one thing and not separate things has to happen from moment to dynamic moment, so we don't lose our 52 kilometers per hour. Because freaking the fastest team did 49.5, which, Teppo, I think you're the punks who might have done that yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, I think Nathan was on
the beans on our guest.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Nathan's on
My
the
bad.
verge of like losing it just now. He's got a vein throbbing in his forehead talking about the Triple T and tactics. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and okay. I'm going to tell you how I'm doing. And
how are you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I had COVID over Thanksgiving, and everything seemed to be going pretty well as far as recovery. And then I noticed some weird things like high resting heart rate, which was maybe like 20 beats higher than normal. And I was like, all right, this could be just like a weird anomaly today, whatever. And then I got on the bike to do a race last Thursday, and it was very uncomfortable. And I tried to race it, and then I tried to ride again on Sunday. It was like my body just wasn't having it. But then I jumped into the ZRL Zwift Race League. I had the Triple T this week. Yesterday felt pretty good. I couldn't take any pulls, but I was able to hang with the pack, so that was good. And so yeah, just getting through COVID, lifting weights. I saw Nathan lifting weights in the gym on his Instagram. I was like trying to calculate how much he's got on that trap bar. I was like, I think I could probably lift more than Nathan.
We're creating a competition. Are we now creating a weekly competition or a monthly
maybe
competition
we are.
now? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we're right now 10 by 225. 10 by 225 times 3 is what we're at. We're just getting prep. So you let me know.
10 by 225 by 3 on
at 150 pounds. At 150 pounds.
Okay. All right.
So,
cool. Well, I got about 15 pounds on you, but yeah, my belly getting a little big. Got some winter weight.
I think he's talking about body weight, not barbell weight.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Anyway, Ken, if I were you, I'd cut your losses right there.
Okay, I'll have to look at my numbers and see. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. We've got some great guests with us today. We have Dave Towle. Dave, hello.
Hello.
Great to see you. And we have, I'm going to try to get this name, Teppo Laurio. Did I get it?
Hello.
All right.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Very good.
As everyone knows, Finnish is one of the easiest languages in the world. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, great to have you both on today. What's new with you, Dave? You've been on our podcast once before. You're a repeat guest. You were in Belgium recently?
Yeah, I was over in Europe, pretty close to Finland, actually. Not that far.
Nice.
Anyways, I'm a big fan of 6-day racing. I have been since I was a kid, and so I try to make a journey over. Ghent 6-day is kind of the... to be fair, there's some big ones, London and Amsterdam, but Ghent is maybe the OG of the 6 days, and it was celebrating its 100th anniversary. So it was a special one to be there for. I love the culture of Northern Europe, really, for whatever reason. I was a fan of Tintin, which I think is Tintin, if you say it right, since I was a kid, and asterisks and obelisks and stuff. So I've always had it in my DNA to be into things from Europe. And so when I'm there, I love everything about the different food, the way they transportation works. So, yeah, Chris, I had a really good time over there.
Awesome.
So I would assume that not too many guys from the States get the opportunity to commentate an event like that. Am I right?
Yeah, well, I'm the only. So one of the things I think Teppo would agree that almost everyone speaks at least some English in Northern Europe, enough that you can get by without knowing any of the native language. It's not always easy, and it's way better to know the native language, but English works. You can grind through just about anything. But in Belgium, they almost use English for a third of things. It's really weird how English language has kind of like crept into their Flemish. So, things like superstar and things like that are that's normal. It's English, but it's part of Flemish. So anyways,
So it's like Flinglish.
sort of a little bit. Yeah. Especially for younger people because they watch so many movies and TV that's based in English and all of that. But that being said, when you go to the velodrome, the announcers have always been able to speak English. So it's not like I was the first person that spoke English that announced there. But in 2016, when Wiggins was retiring, I got to be, I announced the Get 6 Day full on in that. And that is as authentic. It's so authentic, sometimes you cringe. It's so authentic. So I don't think, does Helsinki have a 6 day, Teppo? Did they ever have one?
No, Finland doesn't even have indoor velodrome at the moment. So
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you guys don't have a beautiful wooden 250 meter track. Yeah. Shaped like a Viking boat on the outside.
That's actually a really good idea.
Shaped like a Viking boat. It needs to have all kinds of Viking things.
Maybe like an ice sculpture. You could have like spiked tires and go around. That would be better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have like hockey rinks everywhere, but we don't have velodrome. So what's up with that? I don't know.
Yeah.
We have the old Olympic velodrome in Helsinki, but that's it. And it's outdoor one and concrete, and it's okay shape, but nothing great. So if I want to do a 1 hour record for Finnish cycling, I have to go somewhere else, I think.
Hey Teppo, I do these things here in the States. I'm sure you've heard of them. Belgian waffle rides. They're, I think that they have a big enough reputation that you'd hear about them. Actually, I do one, Ken, near where you are in Asheville, North Carolina, last couple of years. It's really great. But there's going to be a race that's happening in Finland called Finland Gravel that's being put on by the steam. So I would imagine you're aware of it. There's a certain F1 driver from Finland, right? Yeah. You think, Valtteri's, and you put a lot of energy into it. Have you thought about going and trying to win that thing? Go for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I can get a bike for it. And because my Emonda has clearance for 32 wheels, and I have ridden that on gravel roads, but it's not comfy enough for a long race like that. But I just have to figure something out.
You got 6 months. You'll get it.
Yeah, I have time. And then I have to figure out where do I get my TT bike for nationals and for my. So yeah, just need like 5 bikes for next season, and I'm set.
Well, you work in a bike shop, so you should be pretty set. Just just
borrow
order up a bunch of bikes, and they're like, "Hey, these are our demo bikes for the year."
Yeah.
Time trial demo bike, gravel demo bike, mountain bike demo bike. And there you go. Yeah. But let's do this. Let's get into a little bit of background about you, Teppo. Some of our audience is maybe just being introduced to you for the first time. I understand. I read an article about how when you were first getting on Zwift, you did the Tron bike challenge in how many days? Like 4 days?
7.
7 days. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And that's like 100,000 feet of climbing to get that bike?
More than that.
50,000 meters. So
meters.
Yeah.
So what did what was the average a day then? I guess I could do the math myself, but
it was a bit under Everesting per day as an average, but I did couple of easier days because I had to deliver one bike for a customer.
Wow.
Other side of Finland, and then I came back home and had a like normal day, like 8,000 meters, and the next
Oh
day
my
I did
god.
the trenching day. That is 11 and half case. So for
The
one day,
Marianas Trench, is that what? I
yeah,
haven't heard
yeah,
of that.
Okay, okay. That
yeah,
I've not
and
heard of that.
yeah, it's awful. It's awful. But yeah,
So why? That's the real question. What were you
yeah,
thinking?
I come up with these stupid things every now and then. Like couple years earlier. Okay, all started when I decided that will ride my fixed gear bike to Paris, France, to see the Tour de France final. I left on the 1st of July, when the Tour de France started, and my goal was to get there before the finish of the tour.
Mhm.
So that was on a fixed gear bike without brakes, with bike packs, solo, 3,270 kilometers and 3 weeks. But I missed the goal by one day.
Oh no, you just
Oh.
barely missed the tour.
So yeah, I twisted my ankle after Berlin, and then I fell behind a bit, and when I got to Paris, I got to be there like 3 hours. Then I hopped on the bus and came back here. So
Mm.
that was a easy one. And yeah, after that, I have been doing like empty bike park Everesting,
Okay.
and every kind of stupid stuff. But Zwift, I think the free Tron challenge was the stupid thing at the moment that I could come up with.
I mean, it's a brilliant challenge. I love it. And I
Yeah,
mean, seriously, like that's gonna probably stand in the record books for quite some time.
yeah, I could take one day off from it if someone tries it, but
Hmm.
I don't need to at the moment. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes it's enough just to be the first to do it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And not have to do it again.
The rest of the planet is saying he's got it. Good.
Yep.
We'll
You
let
can
we'll
keep
let
it.
him have
it's
it.
all it's all yours.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's done. No need.
Teppo, when you talk about doing crazy stuff, it's awesome. I think your personality has always been extremely cool for us as part of the ZRL and that whole the Grand Prix. Now we appreciate you for sure. I always remember you with the Mape hat in the beginning. Where did that hat come from?
Uh, Actually, that was from the trip to France. I bought it
Ah,
from Poland, I think. I visited the one bike shop there, and they had the Mape hat, and I had to get it.
yeah, it's cool. And so, I think Nathan, I'd certainly say that what your Wahoo Lacole team, the men and the women for that matter, have done has been really special. Talk to me about what it's been like to be a part of that. I know that it was a real challenging week this week too, with you guys losing a teammate, and it seems like that team's got something special for sure. Talking about Wahoo Lacole.
Yeah, Wahoo Call. Yeah, that's my first like real team in Swift. I was racing on FCR for a couple of years when I started racing, and then I got into Ace, and I was mostly racing solo. So this is my first real team, and yeah, guys just asked me, "Do you want to try out for the Premier League. I was okay. I can try out. I got there, and yeah, I have been in their in the Premier or Elite team ever since, and yeah, it has been like it's really fun fun team to be in, and the ladies are just next level. I just have to say, it's like we are racing. We are pretty stoked with our results, but then next week we are watching ladies, and yeah, okay, yeah, we're not that good, but
Well, you had the fastest time in the world yesterday in the Zwift Racing League, so you guys aren't too slow. You guys aren't too slow.
yeah, we had Chris and Mark both there, so yeah, and
Chris
I wasn't.
Dawson, yeah, I noticed you guys threw down. I think Chris did over 410
Yeah,
watts
it
or
was
something
something
for the
crazy
duration. Yeah,
as
something
always.
insane. So, yeah.
But yeah, before I had a cramp and had to pull out from the race, I was holding on at the back like 6.2 watts per kilo and was asking that, can you please hold on? This is downhill. I'm lightest guys in here. Can you
Yeah.
please stop for a second or two? And yeah, but yeah, those guys are, and I think the new TT or team time trial bike uh, thing is great for us. We weren't slow on the like last season or last winter, but yeah, this is so much fun with the TT bikes.
What do you think?
Meaning that they now have drafting enabled for the triple T on
Yeah,
a TT bike. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Have you enjoyed the new Grand Prix format, Teppo? Has that been fun for you guys, kind of having to learn how to race in a new style?
yeah. Uh, I wasn't even sure if I can like start racing yet, but yeah, the new formats are great. Some parts are a bit weird. Yeah, you have to do a lot more of thinking before the race, during the race, and yeah, for me it's not that different. I go for points when I need to, and maybe neutralize something or attack or counter or whatever. But yeah, for the final results, I think the new format is yeah, it's interesting. Let's say that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, just now that we're on this subject, we did an interview together last year, and I'm just going to quote what you told me. But the racing altogether has changed a lot in 4 or so years. There are fewer risky moves and attacks these days, and riding the pack is a safe option. I like to make all sorts of moves because it makes it interesting and fun, but it's not that rewarding at the finish line. Would you say that statement is still true today with the new format?
No. Yeah,
I had a feeling you were going to
Good.
answer that way.
yeah. These days, you don't have any place to hide on the peloton. You have to be really active, and yeah, you can't just ride the wheels if you want any points. So that's great. I think fits me.
Right. So one of the things that always stood out about you, and the reason why behind the scenes that I wanted to get Dave involved in this conversation is that you always had a flair for the dramatic. There was always something going on. Teppo was always at the tip of Dave's tongue, and it was I feel that the new formats make it less of less like Teppo needs to do things to put on a show. It's now the racers are race the course, and the format is the show. Would you agree with that, or what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Dave and Nathan calling me Finnish superstar or legend from Finland and all that. what's up with that?
The-
So I can't really,
well, you,
really.
well, I'm going to stop Teppo right there, and I'm going to say, and Nathan I have to think would agree here. Chris, it's great that the format has changed. It's extremely cool, but these are the gladiators in the arena. They make the show. So good rules, bad rules. At the end of the day, with the bad rules, or I don't want to say they were bad rules. That's not fair, but they could have made it. I mean, Teppo was outstanding for making the best out of the situation. But now it's easier for racing to be exciting, but they still have to get in there and make it exciting, right, Nathan? I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they could still wait around for whatever
Yeah.
carrot is being chased and play it safe, and sometimes once in a while that happens still, but the motivation is enough there, and also I think there's a reality that um I don't know, Teppo would speak to this, I think, more too, rather than myself, because I don't race in a Grand Prix. Like, I'll get into a race that I think at the most is half of that level, versus when everyone's invited and it's all the top tier and there's a lot of motivation and the cameras are on, and I think that um, the level is so high across the board that sitting in is never going is the chances of that paying off is just so much lower now, because so many can sprint for the line, so many can. And so even if you are, one of the best sprinters in the world, you're one of 20. And the reality is if you don't play some tactics, if you don't play some games, you're gonna be rolling a 20-sided dice, versus if your team plays some games, makes some moves, and sets you up right, you're rolling a 5-sided dice, you're the one off the front. I think there's just a lot more game that has to go into this now than it was before, where maybe it was 5 people and you knew it was these 5, and now it's a different story, where it's just the depth is so much that you got to make moves.
Yeah, like I said, you can't hide on the GP peloton at the moment. Uh, Even if you want to ride the wheels, if you're too far back and someone decides to go, you have to work 30 seconds longer all out if you want to get back in that like pack or the chase, and that costs you a lot. So yeah, I'm just playing my part, so like hanging on the first third of the pack and seeing how it goes and try to make it interesting.
So on that topic of the last Zwift Grand Prix race, I feel that the use of the gamification has also evolved, and I don't know whether this was something that the team discussed, and I would love to know this, and I'm hoping that you'll answer this for me. But you guys sent modding off the front, right? You sent modding off the front, and then you all went to the front of the group and then dropped your burritos, and it just seemed like he was gone. It took all of the group, it took all the push out of the group, and then he won that sprint, and you guys went on to have a really great race. Is this something that you planned ahead of time, and did you executed it perfectly, it seemed?
Yeah, I think we race a lot together, like weekly basis, and then we don't like use Discord or anything. We don't communicate while racing that way, and still we can ride as a team. So we didn't plan on the taco move as such, but when the pack seemed like letting off a bit on the top of the hill, I didn't have taco, but I went to the front, let off the gas, and then I think it was Tim. He flew past me to the front, and then he used the taco. We got the speed down by like 4K per hour, and then we started doing that kind of stuff. at the front, and yeah, Mark got away, and yeah, it's like if you are nerd enough in any game, you can improvise pretty much in any situation. So that was kind of that.
So I want to ask a question quickly on that front. Like, from a tactical point of view, Wahoo Nicole, and I'm not just saying this. I picked up on Wahoo Nicole's DSing through watching the team in pixels. Okay, so like there's definitely some big brain stuff going on in the background as far as who's in your ears and the amount of um, work and thought that has gone into the race and the studying of the race. I mean, I could see mastercraft level of de-essing really coming through just watching the team, and the timings were just always so well done. And I mean, there's also a skill to having that kind of oratory ability over an audio virtually to tell people to do something in a video game, right? So I mean, I just wanted to ask, like, is it a single individual or a couple that have now learned the craft of de-essing? Because I'm assuming you always have someone, or at least a group of people who are taking on a really good leadership role tactically with WLC, because they're really well known for it.
Yeah, our tactics. We start talking about them like straight after the race. Like now we are planning for the next race already, kinda. Like
So is it like a if you don't mind me asking, when you say you start talking about it as soon as the race is done, do you mean like a debriefing?
No, yeah, okay. We we talked about the previous race, like after, like, yeah, that's normal. But then we start planning for the next one pretty soon, and we are like talking a lot before the race, and then our DS John just tells in the end, a couple days before the race, that who is going to do what, and John is the one on the Discord calling the shots or asking, can you do this, and can you do this, and yeah, we just, but it's weird. In some races we just don't talk that much, really. John has to say, so yeah, looking great, guys. This is going as planned. So that's, some races are like that, but when we are like these new GP races are so dependent on the points what we get. We have one guy, Alexander, on our Discord calling out the points what we have, and yeah, that's like helping with the math stuff because we ain't that good on it.
That sounds like a finely oiled machine. One guy doing the math, one guy talking about the timing, and it's you're having a good race when no one has to say anything. That sounds sounds like a great plan. Yeah. So I just moving on a little bit in the racing. I know that one of the things that's a real highlight on the schedule for the elite racers now is the World Championships, and the qualifiers were not that long ago. And I know leading up to the qualifiers, you had really put a lot of emphasis on that, but you also were kind of had mentioned that you were making a comeback, that you had been, you had kind of not, I don't know if I could say, well, you're going to be able to tell me whether it was burnout, whether you just weren't feeling that good, over the summer things weren't that great. Maybe you can let me know what you were dealing with, what you did to get out of that hole, and then we'll talk about the qualifiers for the World Championship.
Yeah, so year 22, it hasn't been that great for me. started before the last World Champs, actually. Lots of stress then, and when I started my outdoor season, I got really sick after the first race, or during the first race. Actually, I had to pull out from that, and then I was sick for maybe a month. Then I got better. I started training. Then I got sick again. Then I got better. I got 1 week of great riding in Norway. And then I got sick again. COVID hit, and yeah, I lost like 80 watts from my FTP during this summer. So that was mentally kind of tough place to start from and getting to the Grand Prix shape on a fast schedule. So that was tough spot for me. I was like pretty scared that I can perform. And yeah, I changed all my training. I scrapped everything what I normally do. I tried something new, and yeah, I'm here. I fast tracked the fitness to the point where I was like in last World Champs. So yeah.
Well, what did you do?
Yeah. Everyone is like
secret training.
Yeah, everyone is like hyping up the polarized training these days. I kind of did that, but with the weeks, like I just counted. First couple of weeks, I just did polarized, but the training load was like 300, 600, 400, 800, 500, and 1000, and then I got back to normal and started like doing specific work more.
So after the qualifiers, and I think those were on November 13th, right? Yep. I know that you had put a lot of emphasis on that, and things didn't go exactly the way that you wanted to. And I had a feeling that it was going to hit you pretty hard. So I reached out to you. It might have been like right after the race. I don't know. And you had told me that you had done your 8-minute power best at the time, and it just wasn't good enough. And I guess that's got to be a real tough pill to swallow. But since then, the training has paid off, and you're putting up crazy numbers. Like I know in pre-production, you told me that you're up over 900 watts for 30 seconds and up over 600 for a minute at this point. But so I wonder if the timing was slightly different, whether things would be different for you as far as the World Champs goes. But I know that for a lot of the federations, the call ups came yesterday. Did you receive a call?
Yep, I'm on the team.
Woohoo!
Right.
Congratulations.
Well deserved.
All right.
But yeah,
Don't be too excited, Teppo. It's only a World Championships.
Yeah, yeah. And this year it was a whole different way how it went because last year I had to get through the qualifiers. Eurozone had 5 spots, and I was the 5th one.
Wow.
Finland didn't have any invites for the finals, so that was my only way to get in. I got in, and this year we got 3 invites for the qualifiers, both men and women, and now we got 2 invites, one for me and one for Jenny. So pretty cool.
Very cool.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations. Good for you. Proud of you.
Yeah, and now Finland is also a Zwift country, kinda.
Nice. Do you know? Is the information about the world or the route available? It's going to be on Zwift for the World
I don't
Championships?
know about the route. I know some of the numbers. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's not as much climbing on the second race, but yeah, that suits me even better. If I won't be able to get my like 20-minute power back either way. So if it's like 8 minutes of climbing, yeah, I will be okay there. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so good news
Gotcha.
for me, I think.
Very good. Very good. As far as training goes, I'm interested in. You said that you did sort of a take on polarized training. I mean, was that like a couple of days easy a week and a few days really hard, or how did you break that out?
Um, I like I did everything kind of polarized. I raced
Mhm.
uh, I raced on ZRL
Okay.
with the big boys, aka our Howell, Jan, Chris, all these GP guys, and yeah, I when you are out of shape and you still ride with the best of the best, you got to find a way to hang on the wheels. And I
Hmm.
learned a lot or remembered a lot how to race on the pack. But yeah, then I did like zone 2 and VO2 max, and I just counted the training load, like weekly load was the goal I had. And
Gotcha.
yeah, and if I felt bad about doing like FTP stuff or something like that, I changed it up. But I got the training load that I needed.
Okay, got it. So, in other words, you were doing this with a structure in mind, but it wasn't like a completely structured set of workouts that you were doing every single week.
Yeah,
Hmm. And about how much time do you put in on the bike each week?
uh, I think it was from 6 hours to 14 hours,
Hmm.
and the first 1000 TSS week was 18 hours, I think.
Okay, gotcha. So
And
you
then
put in some big weeks there.
yeah, then I got to take the next week off,
Okay,
and yeah,
gotcha.
Well, it's good you got all that structure out of your system, Teppo, because I saw that you did 12 races in 5 days last week.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's good that
Yeah,
it's
that
good
was,
you got all that
Jeez.
sensible training out of the way. You know, you should go to the Nathan School of race resistance.
yeah. I
Trying not
raced
to race
Nathan
so
on
much.
the Saturday, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah. Tiny races.
Teppo took the win in the final tiny race over the top of the Innsbruck leg snapper. That was a pretty impressive. How did you make that happen? Is what I want to know. I was trying to set up for that punch on the leg snapper correctly. Part of it was how motivated I just was not any longer with the amount of pain I'd been experiencing. Did you? I mean, your first race in the tiny races this past weekend, I'm not sure it went the way you wanted it to. Perhaps I'm not sure what happened there because the result was nowhere near the last
Yeah,
three. I think you would have won the series actually,
yeah.
if you
I
would
just
have.
I was going on a break with Fumagalli, I think, and that was
Ah,
stupid because it's tiny race. So, and then I didn't have or I got a little sprint, but the timing was off, so couldn't do much there. But the last three races, I was kind of kind of there. But the last race, I did my 30-second PB all time. But that was kind of you need good competition to get best results. So I was going head to head with Svensson.
mm,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
if you want to win him, you got to do your best on a sprint. There's no
so just
other
so
way.
everybody
So
knows, So Teppo's talking about he did 14.1 watts per kilo for 30 seconds.
Wow.
Wow.
925 watts for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
But I see you're on the leaderboard there, Nathan, 8th in that race. That's
I
pretty
didn't
solid.
do too bad. I didn't do too bad. Yeah, I had a good.
Not at all.
Yeah,
results this weekend.
It's a tough sprint to time also because it's so steep.
So,
So
Teppo,
if
are you young enough? Do you still have dreams of being a pro cyclist? Is that within your, day-to-day thinking of possibly trying to follow that path?
No, I'm 33 already, so I think that ship has sailed for me. Considering outdoor racing, but yeah, I think I have been getting my little sister on the bike and giving some training tips and writing some workouts for her and my girlfriend and my friend, and yeah, but I think if I do cycling things, it might be on the training side of things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of the things I love is the community in cycling, and Zwift has that community for sure, and also gravel racing. And I mean, all those people you mentioned, I assume, like Laura and your sister, and that group, you could show up at. I mean, Finland gravel, and all of you race together, just like you do on Zwift, right? And make a weekend out of it. And there's an opportunity, right, to use all your talent in real life application and still, have fun with it. It doesn't always have to be. I guess what I'm saying is pro racer is kind of a vague term now.
Yeah, I hope I can go to the Finland gravel, but my favorite event in Finland at the moment is the Saimaa cycle tour. We ride around Saimaa Lake, middle of the night, over the night. It's like about 300 kilometers. We start at 8 p.m. and you come across the line whenever you come.
Nice. Is this where you see the Mumintrolls? Do you know what Mumintrolls are?
Nope.
Mumins.
Mumintroll. Dave,
Yeah.
what's a Mumintroll?
Isn't that
I love this.
Yeah.
Is that
Man.
I didn't want to be the first one to
Oh, no,
ask.
he
I
knows.
was like, is he?
Teppo,
What is he saying?
Teppo, back me up. You know what I'm talking about, don't
Yeah,
you?
Moomi. We
See?
call them Moomi.
There you go.
Momi.
Yeah.
What the hell is it?
Here I have it. I've
Yeah.
got images here. Hold on.
I think the Mumintroll is the like Swedish,
The English. Oh,
yeah,
Swedish,
Swedish
right?
or English way to Mumintroll.
We learned about it in Norway, Teppo.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the Norwegian way. But yeah, they're friendly, Nathan. They're cute.
These guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're
These
looking at some
little-
like sort of capybara.
Yeah,
looking
that's
animals.
hilarious. I just learned what a capybara is anyways
they
in
are like-
Brazil.
They are
So they're
like,
kind of like you're 300K into a ride. You haven't had enough sugar. You start seeing these things on the side of the road.
yeah,
This guy right here.
That
That's
guy. That's a movement,
God.
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's Moomi himself.
There
That's
you
Moomy.
go.
That's Moomy.
The man
Moomy.
himself.
Moomy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I may have to put a picture of a Moomy in the show notes. Just so
You
everyone
might
knows what
have
we're
to,
talking about
yeah.
here.
So what? So
Well, Teppo, when there's the team called SISU Racing, and
Yeah.
I had learned about the construct of SISU. Is that something that you're well aware of? Are all Swedish people, or excuse me, all Finnish people, down with SISU?
Yeah. SISU is Finnish thing. Like, I don't know even how to describe it.
It's kind of could I try by saying it's like a vibe thing, like a be nice, be friendly, be upbeat.
It's like going through the uh, mountain kind of stuff. If you get beat down, get up and try again.
Motivating, huh?
Yeah.
Right, like yeah.
But yeah, every Finnish,
Interesting.
most of Finnish people are kind and
I'd
friendly.
agree. Is it weird because of Russia right now and everything happening with geopolitics, Finland being so close? Are people a little more nervous around town?
I don't. I'm the worst person to ask about that. I don't like. I don't
You're on
really
Zwift.
care
You're
about
in Watopia.
things.
There are no Putins.
Yeah, I don't really care about those things. Or yeah, I just live my own life mostly, and yeah, I'm outside of the loop.
I hear you.
Now I see that you are a DJ as well.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you like to play?
Drum and bass.
Nice. I love techno and drum and bass.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff, and Ghetto Funk.
Okay, that's a new one for me.
Yeah, that's like that's a bit more.
Can you hum some of it?
Yeah, could you sing us some Ghetto Funk real quick?
No, it's not. It's not like anything you can sing. Or yeah, it's like
not really worried about
I have a feeling
Russia.
that
We're not really worried about Russia. What we got going on is a ghetto funk thing.
Yeah, it's
typical
like,
Finland.
dubstep mix. Or
Listen, Dave, you're
drum
bringing down the mood, all right?
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Yeah, drum and bass meets funk or something like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I'll have to. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, and then I, as every Finnish person, I was in a metal band.
Awesome.
Of course.
And then I'm also
Nice.
a rap artist.
No
Sure.
way.
We assume
Do you
that.
rap in
like-
Finnish?
Limp Bizkit. It's just Limp Bizkit. That's what it is. That's what we got going on.
And
Well,
yeah,
then you can
Finnish
certainly-
rap,
Why don't you?
Teppo,
spin some
Finnish
rhymes
rap
for
hasn't
us.
hit big in the United States yet. Yeah, we'd love to hear some.
oh, now I'm just shy.
I
have to
don't
put
blame
link
you.
on- I have to put
Yeah.
link up somewhere.
Yeah. We'll find it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
but yeah, I do everything.
All right, so I want to we're kind of getting up against time here, and I want to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, I've been dying to find out what's Paco Polki? What does that mean?
It's like compulsion to pedal.
Huh.
Neat.
Yeah,
I like
to
it.
pedal.
Well, how do you what do you think that compulsion is going to be pedaling you into the future? What do you see as the future for you?
That's
do you
your
see as the
Instagram
future
handle.
for-
That's his Instagram handle, just so everybody know. Like
Yeah.
Paco Polki Teppi is.
Oh, I should
his
have said
Instagram.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But just where
Kinda
did that
random.
come from?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Moomies and Paco Polkis, and this is definitely a Finnish conversation right now.
Yeah, Finnish with
There you go.
Teppo.
Anyway, what I was trying to get at, what is the future for you in esports, just in general? Are we gonna see you doing some rapping about virtual cycling? What's going on?
Yeah, my first goal is to get back into the shape that I was a couple years. Like, if you want to go outside and do 400k ride, you don't have to plan it like weeks ahead. You just can hop on your bike. That's like my happy place on a bike. You can just go. But yeah, I'm going to race on Zwift and every platform I can, as long as I can. And for now, it's working for me, and it's fun. I see it helps me with my motivation, and it's kind of fun place to set some goals because we have this funny white thing, snow on the ground for almost half a year, so I can do that much outdoors on the winter. So indoor riding is the thing that I'm going to be really active for a long time, I think. And that's
Good.
the
That
thing
sounds
you
great.
are
It's
yeah, that's the thing you are going to hear about more than my outdoor rides.
Very nice.
And
Is it
that's
really
because of
that
Dave and
bad?
Nathan.
Is it really 6 months of the year snow is on the ground up there, Teppo?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's crazy.
And this year we have had snow for almost 3 weeks now, so I think it's gonna be a long winter this year.
oof. Well, how much of that time is like does the sun not come out?
We have sun for maybe 4 hours a day where I live.
Now who's
So-
being depressing?
Well,
Sorry.
you are really far north. I didn't realize how far. I mean, you're on the
Yeah.
same what is it, longitude or latitude? I'm not sure which one it is, as Iceland.
Yeah.
Latitude.
Pretty
Latitude
much.
is Iceland and
Right.
Greenland. So, wow, yeah.
But on
Yeah,
the
but in
flip
the
side,
summer-
the sun never sets during the summer, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of worth it
Nice.
because in the summer it's
Wait.
really cool to just go for a ride through the night.
I bet.
That's
sounds
crazy. I
cool.
mean, if you look at a map and how far up Finland, I know we're totally kind of going into geography here, but you're like upper end of Canada, Alaska. I mean, it's
Whoa.
you guys
Yeah.
are up there. Yeah, it's up there. Huh.
What
Very
does your
cool.
family
Anyway,
do,
we have-
Teppo? Like, what does your father do? What's the industry where you are? Is it fishing? Is it energy?
Dad is working on construction, so and-
Building, huh?
Yeah. And
Teppo provides the energy for his town.
I
Actually,
bet they just run it off of his trainer.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
think
Uh-huh.
I got the cycling from my great grandfather. I think he was riding his bike everywhere until he was like 96 years old, I think. He even
wow.
broke out from his like old people home with a bike.
Good for him.
Oh man! Holy
Uh,
cow!
Oh,
He's
look
like,
out
I'm just
for
gonna
it.
send it.
That's
Yeah,
that's Sisu at its best, right there.
That is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Teppo,
that's
I mean, worldwide, Finland definitely if is known for endurance athletes, great runners. Why is that? Do you think that Finland has been exceptional in that one? It's cross country skiing, it's running, but endurance is kind of the vibe you get from Finland athletics. Like you think of Jamaica, you think of sprinting. If you think of Finland, you think of 10K or 5K. 10K though.
Yeah.
Why
I don't
is
know.
that?
Maybe that's somehow because everyone knows that endurance comes from your head, not the legs. So if you're like tough, you are most likely to get better at endurance stuff when you can like push through. So
Mental fortitude. The
yeah,
Finnish
These
fortitude.
people are just smarter than the rest of us.
no, not smarter.
Not smarter. Just work hard. Work hard.
tougher.
Work hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually, the
think
other-
of
Like the,
where you are.
The other
You're being
direction,
chased
no
by
brain,
polar
no pain.
bears. Polar bears in the middle of freaking
Right.
Finland winters and trying to make it through the darkness where you have 4 hours of sunlight. That's the
Well, and
endurance, right?
Nathan, you know the saying, you don't have to be faster than the bear, you have to be faster than your friend, right?
Yeah, but
What
actually,
what
we
city
don't
are
have
you
all
from?
this.
What area? What area of Finland, Teppo? I'm wondering actually. Now that I have a map up, I'm just wondering what area of
Kuopio.
Finland are you from? How do you
Kuopio.
say? Kuopio. Oh, right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Yeah,
Kind of like southern,
yeah.
but like mid south. Okay, gotcha.
Is there any
Savonia.
danger with wildlife where you are? Could you be chased by a reindeer or anything?
No,
Santa
no.
Claus.
No.
Chased by reindeer.
I'm
Dave's
looking
like
to stir up
get
drama.
chased by reindeer and Santa Claus. Oh man.
For the
Yeah,
next
you know,
broadcast, Nathan, we need some drama for Teppo. He looks
Yeah.
like he's being chased by a reindeer outside of Helsinki.
Yeah, the wildlife here, I don't see that much because we have a lots of forests, so they don't have to come as near to us. So that could be
And
one
you're
It
just
reason.
might be
like
because your dog-
surrounded by water, it looks like. I mean, just
movement.
water is everywhere.
Yeah,
He also has a 200-pound dog living in his house with him too. That might have something to do with it.
Is that
yeah,
true?
Kisu is
He's get-
great alarm.
I have a question. Okay,
Yeah, he has-
we're all
the
over
full
here, but this
mastiff.
Finland is just really interesting to me now. Like, is that fresh water or salt water you're surrounded by?
Fresh.
Because it looks like it's fresh. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Why does the rest of the world call it Finland, but if you're in Finland, the country is called Suomi?
Yeah, I don't know, but we also call Sweden Ruotsi.
Huh.
It's the top secret like Norse world up there, but like Dave, I think they have
Yeah.
their own thing going on. Like, yeah, the rest of the world thinks they know us,
Like
but
a code.
but we really know us. Like,
code.
I think that's how it kind of works.
Yeah,
I don't think we'd invite Dave anymore. He's making us all look stupid.
He's a Finnish expert peeling back the layers of the onion on Finland.
I know. Like, who knew that we were
Thanks a
going to
lot.
get a cultural? Who knew that this was going to end up being a cultural lesson?
This is the good content
great.
right
Look,
here.
Teppo,
Yeah, this is good.
have you historically watched the broadcasts? You don't watch them while you're racing, I wouldn't think.
yeah, no, I need to concentrate. But yeah, I watch them back just to learn and see how it goes. Like, yeah, but
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, you can also watch Teppo back too. You stream on Twitch.
Right.
Nice.
Teppi Lobium. I'm watching
Yeah.
one of your videos right now from race over the weekend. So
Yeah, that's
Now,
a
when
tiny
you
race.
stream on Twitch, Teppo, do you have interaction in real time with people while you're racing?
Yeah,
That's
I-
cool.
I
We love Twitch. Absolutely
yeah,
love
I
it.
try to keep it like fun when I'm racing, but you shut up pretty quick when you are doing
Yeah.
200 BPM up the
Not
tank
Nathan.
bottle.
Nathan keeps talking, and then if he can't talk, he'll make sound effects.
Yeah,
Right.
heavy panting radio.
Heavy,
Nathan.
yes. Yeah. It'd be good with your band, I bet.
yeah, we need to just make a band, heavy panting. We'll just call it heavy panting.
Metal and yeah,
Just some
like
bass and drums and Nathan panting.
And
Ghetto
it's not
Funk.
really, it's just Twitch. It's just Twitch Zwift live streams actually mixed together. You
Yeah.
can DJ that up,
Mash
right,
up.
Teppi? You
Mash
can
that
mash
up.
that up, right?
Yeah,
Put a beat to it.
yeah.
Well, that came up during the rap podcast last week, right, Nathan? When we decided that your true nature comes out when you're doing 200 beats a minute. You
that's
cannot
right.
hide.
That's right.
There's nothing that isn't
Yeah,
honest and pure about that.
yeah, but helps when you're not like nasty person when you're doing that.
Yeah.
So
Well said.
it's more fun for everyone when you are giving your all, but still be able to be a nice person. I think manners.
Yeah, good manners.
Yes.
Very
Good place
important.
to wrap it
Those
up.
are good words to live by. We really appreciate it, Teppo.
Yeah.
It's actually been a lot of fun, which I
It
assumed
has
it was
been.
going to be.
It has been a lot of fun and a lot of laughter. Probably more laughter on this podcast than any we've recorded so far. And Dave, thank you for
50-50.
joining us as well.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Any quick updates about the Dad Fund, Chris?
No, just we have Christmas ornaments. If you
That's an
if you want
update.
any, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. They're handmade by one of our members' wives. She does a little pottery thing on the side, and actually ceramics, and they're really cool. They're a little mustache man. They're glazed, and if you order them now, I'll get them. My wife will throw them right into the mail and get them to your house, and you can put them on the tree and be ready.
Awesome. Very good. Well, hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. And make sure you check out the Zwift for keeping up to date with everything that's going on Zwift, and also some great training tips. And we will be back again in a couple of weeks with a new episode. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you.